Meanwhile, the DA says it will not table a motion of no confidence in the President while the impeachment process continues. The party leader, John Steenhuisen, says his party doesn't believe doing so would be the best course of action. He joins us now. John, good evening to you. Thank you for your time on the Pulse. Why are you not going to use this tactic to try and remove the President?
Because we don't believe it is the right thing to do for a number of reasons, chiefly that the rule of anticipation in Parliament would prevent such a motion from even being on the order paper because it is similar in nature to the Section 89 process that is currently underway. And secondly, I think it would reek of desperation. It's the message I gave to the fellow opposition leaders yesterday is that the country's in a very febrile position at the moment and people are very uncertain and unsure. And I think adopting a calling all pockets approach when what we actually should be using is a scalpel to get to the bottom of what is wrong with this, I think would be a mistake. And so we have to act in the best interest of the country. I don't think it's in the best interest of the country for now Parliament to be seized with a motion of no confidence on top of a Section 89 process that is ostensibly underway.
As I understand it, you're going to vote in favour of accepting the Pala panel report. So you'll take the report to the next stage. If that's the case, does that mean that you believe the findings of the panel are correct?
No, not necessarily, and that's the whole point. The parliamentary committee process's precise job is to interrogate that panel's report. Their job was merely to find out, is there a prima facie case for the President to answer? They've come back on it. I think there's some things in it that are strong. I think there's some things in it that are weak. But that will be the job of the parliamentary committee to now be able to, with far wider powers, call witnesses, subpoena any documents that may be required, and to conduct a full parliamentary inquiry with the job to determine what went on there, but then also whether, at the end of the day, these are serious enough to be regarded as impeachable offences. There may well be wrongdoing, and certainly if I look at the President's papers, he's going to have a problem in at least two instances. I think that would be the work of the committee, and it's why the process must continue, and why we believe that at the end of the day it will give all parties, including the President, an opportunity to make their case and to set out the problems that they have with the report. But I think simply chucking the report out now and the ANC voting slavishly like they did during the Zuma years to kill accountability would be the wrong move.
Well, you mentioned the Zuma years. We've seen some opposition parties really being very vociferous in their criticism of President Ramaphosa. It may just be a perception, but it doesn't seem that your party is quite so critical of him, particularly if you compare your party's stance towards Zuma. I mean, just the Nkandla, never mind state capture, just the Nkandla scandal saw your party really being incredibly critical of the President at the time. Why not the same kind of vociferousness against Ramaphosa?
Because there's no proven case yet against the President. With the President with President Zuma, there were the 783 charges of fraud, corruption, and racketeering. There was Nkandla. There was the findings of Nkandla. There were the Nkandla court cases. There's also an important thing here to be very, very strategic in what one does. Because what I'm not going to do is allow my party to be used as some vehicle to open the back door for the radical economic transformation /EFF/Zupta factions of the ANC to use this as an opportunity to get into control. I think compared to what's in politics is always the question, and certainly we would not be in favor of just simply allowing those back doors to be opened for a President Mabuza or a President Mkhize or a President Mashatile. And that's why we believe the process must be allowed to continue. The process is set out in terms of the rules of Parliament. We've commenced with that process, and I think it makes sense for that to reach its final conclusion before we start making rash decisions about who should go, when they should go, etc.
John Steenhuisen, leader of the Democratic Alliance, thank you very much indeed for your